Welcome to ReginaldESQ. I'm Underhook and this is my review of the Tier 8 American tank destroyer, the T28 Prototype. Not to be confused with the T28, which is the non-turreted Tier 8 American tank destroyer. So the Prototype is the one with the turret. And it sacrifices a little bit of front armor, so it's a little bit easier to penetrate frontally for having a turret. Let's get into the review. It has 1,150 hit points, which is not too bad for a tank destroyer. Weighs from 67 to 77 tons, which is a huge variation in weight. 510 horsepower, 18 kilometers an hour is its top speed, and a traverse speed of 20. So both the traverse speed and the top speed are very slow, and it's very slow. Slower than a Churchill 7, which does 20 kilometers an hour. This thing is very slow. The hull armor is... I'll talk about that in a minute. Turret traverse is 18, which is of course slow, but it is a tank destroyer, so I've come to expect that. So at least it's got a turret. View range of 380 is quite good, and the 745 signal range is very good as well. So onto the armor. It's 203. This big plate here at the front is 203 millimeters of armor. On the side we have 50 mils, and on the rear we also have 50 mils. So it's really a frontally armoured tank. The sides are pretty much useless. On the turret, we also have 203 millimeters of armour. On the side, it's 127, and the rear is 101. So basically, we have a tank that, combined with its 10 degrees of gun depression, is a very good hill fighter. Much like your T40, Hellcat, T25-2, this tank, all of them excellent gun depression, 10 degrees. It has 15 degrees elevation, which is okay, but the gun depression is of course excellent, and that makes this very good hill fighter, as all of these American tank destroyers have been, these turreted ones. Very impressive. And so the turret is tougher than the hull, but you do get good frontal armor, and the sides of the turret are not great, but it's okay. The mantlet is fantastic, very, very tough indeed. I don't think I have been penetrated in the mantlet at all, and I've played well over 100 games. This front section here, some people say that it's the 127 as the side armor. Other people say, oh no, it's the full 203. My feeling is that it is the 203 millimeters, but that it's more easily penetrated because it's flat. But the turret, I think, is probably more than 203, or it's probably 203 plus spaced armor. It seems to be very tough for anyone to penetrate. However, this side armor of 127 does get penetrated frontally. So even though they're hitting it, even though it's got a slope and an angle, it still gets penetrated from the front. So you've got to watch that. I sometimes wiggle my tank and my turret from side to side to try and stop them being able to target that area. Now also, this top area here can be penetrated fairly easily. That's definitely not 203. So if they're elevated compared to you, they can shoot down on that. It's not good. Obviously, if they're elevated, they can shoot inside your turret too, which is a guaranteed penetration. The lower plate here I've never had penetrated, so it's small and looks very tough indeed. The machine gun turret here is an obvious weak spot. Now, the problem with this frontal armor is it's not sloped very heavily, so tanks of tier 9 and 10 that have more than 200 penetration on their gun can punch a hole through it. If you angle, you can't angle very much because your side armor is weak, so you can only angle a little bit, which does help. But I think, much like this T25 too, which also doesn't have very big sloping on the front, much like just about all the American tank destroyers actually, I think they don't have much sloping because they're designed to fight on hills. So the idea is, if you're on a hill and the front is just poking up, because your tank's going to be tilted backwards, this then does have a very good slope. So if you're on the hill and they're shooting at you, your armor is very well sloped. It's not designed to be fighting this way, it's designed to be fighting on a hill. That's my opinion, and that's why it's sloped. Not sloped that much for ground level fighting. Okay, so let's have a look at the gun now. Now the gun, this is the top gun. The second, you got three guns. The first one, second one is quite a good gun. The reason though that you really want this top gun is for the penetration. It's 248 penetration, which is very, very good, and does 400 damage, which is also very good. And you can boost to 297 penetration with premium ammunition, but the 248 is adequate nearly all the time. A rate of fire of 5.94 is quite good for a gun that does this much damage. Accuracy of 0.39 isn't great, but it's not bad. I don't find that I miss a lot, even at fairly long range. It feels actually better than 0.39. So, you know, sometimes you get guns that say 0.39 and you think it's worse than that. Other times, but this one I'd say it feels better than that. The aiming time is 2.3, which I didn't find it a problem. You know, it's not the quickest, but it's not slow. It's pretty good. But it is a very good gun. I really do like the gun. The gun's very, very good. So basically we have a tank that has great gun depression, a very good gun, not bad frontal armor, is a very good hill fighter, but you can't let anyone get behind you. Now, this turret, if people get behind you, one, you can't turn very quickly, your turret can't turn quickly, and your tank can't turn quickly. Of course, if you're trying to get someone who's on the side of you, turn your tank and your turret at the same time to try and catch them. The other thing is, if they get behind you, you do not have a full turret traverse. It won't turn all the way around. It doesn't face backwards, so it gets to about here and it stops, and it gets to about here and it stops the gun. It's a 286-degree turret traverse, so it doesn't go all the way. Just watch that, so you can't get into like a narrow alleyway and then try and get your gun around to shoot backwards. You can't do it. So be very careful what situation you get yourself into with this tank. The other thing is the camouflage in this tank isn't that good. The T28 has quite good camouflage, but the Prototype doesn't, and I guess it's because the turret gives you a bit of a higher profile. Now, if we were to compare it, say, yeah, your really good ones are your Waffentractor and your SU-101. I think I said that German name wrong, but anyway, they have great camouflage for a T8 tank destroyers. The Ferdinand, for example, and the Jagdpanther have terrible camouflage for a T8 tank destroyer. This T28 Prototype is a little bit better than the Ferdinand, but not much better. So it's down the bottom end camouflage wise. So don't rely on your camouflage. It's not that great. I think that's about all we need to say. Obviously you're vulnerable to HE from artillery because you are an open top, so watch that. I did also get one shot killed by a Death Star FV215B183 the other day, yesterday, so watch out for that. But generally speaking, if HE hits the front of your tank, you're pretty safe. It's mainly if it comes down on top, you're in big trouble. Alright, let's get into some gameplay. Okay, this is just so you know, I wasn't lying about getting one shot killed by a Death Star. Death Star is the name that I think Jingles gives to the FV215B183, which is a Tier 10 British tank destroyer. There you go, my full health. Kaboom! So watch out for them, they can hurt you bad.
Let's get this show on the road.
Okay, the map is Mines and I'm in my T28 Prototype. Now for this game I'm actually using the 105mm gun. I just wanted to show you this gun. It is a very, very good gun. Unfortunately it just doesn't have enough penetration. It has 198 penetration, which is good enough for tier 8s and below, but once you get to sort of tier 9s and 10s, some of them it's a bit tough. But it still does 320 damage, so it still does quite good damage. It is a very good gun. Now this is a tier 8 game, but it's only a tier 8 game just. I'm the only tier 8 on my side, the only tier 8 on the other side is an IS-3, I think it is. So, and then it's only one tier 7 on each team, the rest are tier 6s, so it's a dream matchup for me. But I really like the accuracy and the rate of fire it is to the gun. It's a really good gun. So anyway, we'll just have a game with this and you can have a look and see what you think of the gun. As you can see, the tank is painfully slow. Okay. We did 360, so it was pretty good damage there. So we take a hit there, 267. Actually, let's just see where he penetrated us. Oh, in the side. Yeah, the side's quite weak. Might speed it up a little bit there. Okay, there we go. Oh, back to normal speed. Thought it was normal, was it 2 times? As you can see, the accuracy of the gun there, I can pick out his cupola. Now I bounced a shot from SU-100. Actually, let's see where that bounced, if we can. There you go, right in the front of them. It looks like he was going for the machine gun port. And fortunately for us, he missed.
Enemy armor is hit.
So yeah, using the excellent gun depression, I'm able to not expose myself for too long, and then immediately after shooting I can just pull back to the safety of the hill. Great advantage, good gun depression. Now I bounced that shot there from the SU-100Y and managed to give him something to take home as well. Trying to coax me into shooting, so I waste my round, and then he'll come over the hill. That's what he's trying to do anyway, I think. He's moved out of the way now, so alright, so I've got a couple of kills there, which is good. So I figure I'll go up on onto the hill here now. And the SU-100Y is trying to get me in the back. See, my turret still hasn't turned. It takes a long time to turn this turret. So okay, I think, alright, we've made it up. He's backing off now. I might just see if I can turn around and have a shot at him. Looks like he is definitely backing away again now. So bugger it all. Go back around. I'm going to speed this up a little bit here, it's a bit slow. I'm backing up. I decided to back up rather than go round because I was worried about this SU coming up the hill. And I didn't want him to catch me in the back, so... Some tanks you can just drive with your turret pointing backwards. This tank it won't point backwards, so you can't risk it. So I'm still in 2 times speed here, believe it or not. I'm going to slow down now. They've been trying to cap. They're at 62. I just want to make sure I can get rid of it. That's it. Got the Hellcat. He was doing most of the capping. We had most of the cap points, so... Whoops. Fired at just the wrong time. So it's going pretty well. We've got 3 tanks left, they've got 2 left. So it looks like we're probably going to win. Whoa! Been shot in the back by SU-100. And he pulls back. So I'm slowly turning. And I can see a VK up here as well. This is very dangerous. I've got 2 tanks on me. He bounced his APR C shot. I might just pause that and have a look and see where that went, because that was, looks like that one on the front plate there, or it might have been the one on the mantlet, because that was premium ammo and it bounced. And we get him in the back there, which is great. Whoa! Now we get hit again by this sneaky SU-100. We've reloaded though. It's a quick reloading gun, this one. Now fortunately the VK came around the same place. He didn't go around and try and get behind me again, or I'd be in trouble. He's tracked from the look of it, so he's gone now. VK bounces another premium round. Actually, I might just see. It looks like it bounced right off the front there. So using our great frontal armor.
Gotcha.
And that's it. That's the end of the game. Okay, so that, as you see, that was a level 2 mastery badge, and I think that's a Spartan badge too, because did get damaged a fair bit there at the end. Good looking screen. We hit quite a few tanks there. Like I say, that 105 is very good when you're in a lower tier match like tier 8 and below. It's a really good gun. It just suffers a bit when it gets to tier 9, but I actually prefer this gun for tier 8 and below because yes, it does a little bit less damage, 320 instead of 400, but its rate of fire is better and it's more accurate, whereas the benefit of the 120mm is really okay. It does more damage, does 400, but it's really the penetration that you need. You need that penetration at tier 9 and 10. And we finished on top for experience, so it was a pretty good experience. The 1045 raw experience is very good. We did 3075 damage, and next screen, 14 shots, 12 direct hits, 12 penetrations, 3075 damage. We received 7 hits, only 3 of them penetrated, and I guess that's because look, we're against lower tiers there. Enemies damaged 7, destroyed 5, bit of spotting damage, bit of base defense points, and we made a bit of money, but the ammunition's pretty expensive, so we didn't make that much profit. 1500 experience with premium. Alright, next.
Time to roll out.
Okay, tier 8 game. The map is Sacred Valley. I'm in my T28 Prototype. And we might just speed it up while we're getting into position because this is painful to watch, this tank. Now, because I have a tank with good gun depression, I really want to get a spot on the hill. It's looking a bit busy up here. I'm still at 2 times speed, believe it or not. Alright, slowing down to 1 times now. I prefer to be where the T71 is next to me, but I have to come right up because he's trying to spot from there.
Enemy armor is damaged.
So I can't take that position. He's pointing at me. See if you can reload it.
Enemy
No,
armor
you
is
can't.
destroyed.
I immediately dropped down off the hill again because I'm worried about getting hit by artillery, and I was worried that KV-1 might have spotted me. So our team is pushing over onto the other side there, so I want to get back up the hill again because they're probably going to spot for me pretty quickly. But as you can see, it doesn't go up the hill quickly. Yep, there's a T29. Can I get a shot on it? Great gun depression. I'm waiting to get the aim. It didn't seem to aim there. I don't know what happened. That happens a lot where it looks like my shell hits but somebody else gets the kill, so obviously my shell hits just after theirs. Very annoying.
They're knocked out.
Alright, so we've got 2 kills. I haven't done oodles of damage. I've got other games where I do a lot more damage. I think my best in this tank is about 3,800 and something. But they're just boring games because they're kind of games where I've been able to sit in cover or, you know, far away. Somebody else is spotting. I've just been shooting the crap out of people, which it's fun while you do it and it's good. You get a lot of damage, but it's boring to watch. So I've tried to pick a game that's a little bit more interesting. So the score is 4-3. It's quite even. The fact that we've taken the hill across just here, it's surprising we haven't done better, but it looks like they just didn't send me tanks up there. I've got a few up here though. I'm waiting for one of these to move into, or try and move down the hill so I can get a shot. But we must be holding them up there pretty well. Look like they're about to make a move.
We didn't even scratch them.
Oh, I hit him, but didn't penetrate. And I just, yeah, couldn't get a reliable shot. Probably should have taken a shot. But, you know, it's always the way. If you take the shot, then the other tank will pull out and then stop in front of your gun sight until you've almost reloaded, and then it'll take off and you'll miss. So, you know. I'm not exactly concealed, but it's just that there's no tanks on this side of the map, so I can do it. I can sit right out. So frustrating. I'm going to speed it up a little bit here. So I decide now that that looks like they're going to make it into our town, so I've got to defend now. I'll slow back down to 1 times.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
That's our 3rd kill. We seem to be getting the tanks that don't have a lot of hit points left. There's a black punce up on the hill there. I call it black punce because I don't like it. I think it's a terrible tank, but anyway, that's just my opinion. I haven't reviewed that tank because I sold it in disgust, but I might buy it back again just to do a review at some stage. I'll speed up a bit here. It is very slow. Make it 4 times speed now. So I decided to take the lower path because I can see those guys in the upper path, and if I go the upper path I'm never going to make it. By the time it's 7 minutes will have ticked down to nothing by the time I make it into a position where I can do something. So I'll take the lower path and see if I can help out down here somehow. So I'm still at 2 times speed here. See the Ferdinand on the screen, I just can't get him in my gun sight, so just keep moving, don't stop. Alright, slow down to 1 times now. So he's managed to kill our SU-152, so I decide I've got to just start heading towards him and go for it. The game's still very close. We've got 3 tanks, they've got 2. So basically it's myself and is it a T29 we've got there, and our artillery versus this Ferdinand and their artillery. Now the Ferdinand is doing very well. He's got 5 kills and looks like he's probably not a bad player. He's just eliminated our T29 or whatever it was. So it's myself and my artillery versus a Ferdinand and his artillery. And it's taken me forever to get there, but I'm going to get there. Now I've loaded a premium shell because it's a Ferdinand and it's tough to penetrate, and the game is hinging on this, so I'm just going to use my excellent gun depression. You see that he bounced. Let's have a look where he bounced from. Because Ferdinand has very good penetration. Yeah, he hit my mantlet. That's, yeah. He hit the one spot he shouldn't hit. I'm going to make very sure of my shot here, aiming for his lower plate. He hasn't got a lot of health left. I could probably ram him here. This one he does penetrate with. He backs off, so I can't ram him, and I make sure of the shot. I just get hit by artillery. So let's stop this. I'm now down to 86 health. I've just been hit by the arty. I've also just spotted his arty. See it up there? Now let's have a look and see where we got penetrated. There. That's not a bad place to shoot. Remember I told you in review that that top plate is weak. It's quite thin. So he's managed to bypass my frontal plate and hit me on that top plate, then penetrate me there. Interesting. Looks like someone's hit me down there as well, but I don't think that... Oh. Well, actually, maybe he hit me there, near that lower plate. Maybe it was the artillery that just hit me in that upper plate. That would probably make sense, because his shot would be coming down. The artillery's just hit me there, and the Ferdinand hit me there on that corner there, on my lower plate, which... Gee, I don't know. That's a very tough piece of armour. I don't know how he would have got through that. But, looks like he did. So, we line up the artillery. He's still reloading. And he's gone. And we win! Yay! I survived. Okay, so like I said, not a lot of damage, but we did get 5 kills, so that's pretty good. And I think it just showed you a bit more of the tank moving around and stuff, instead of just sitting still and shooting, so it's a bit more interesting. Let's have a look at the next screen. And we finished quite well down the list in experience, and damage wise we're about 4th or 5th, something like that. We fired 10 shots, 8 of which were direct hits, 7 penetrated. We did 1500 damage. We received 3 hits, 2 of which penetrated, and we had 1 non-penetration, of course. Enemies damaged 5, destroyed 5, and this is interesting. 25,000 credits. We had to repair. We survived, but we still had a fair few repair costs. And because we fired, I think, 2 premium rounds, we went into debt. And we lost money. I think the premium rounds are 4,800 per shell on this tank, which is very expensive, and yeah. Oh well, that's why I don't use them much. And I think it was worth it though. We might not have penetrated that Ferdinand without it, so you know, it was probably worth it. We received pretty good experience though, 766, and it came up to 1149 with premium. Alright.
Let's go.
The map is South Coast. I'm in my T28 Prototype, crashing into an AT8. And I'm just going to speed this up while I move into position, because it's quite slow and a little bit boring. So now I'm back to 2 times and normal speed. So what you see me doing here is some speculative shooting. I know that some people like to hide behind bushes. You can't see much bushes now, but there's bushes there. You can't see them when I'm zoomed in and from this far away. So yeah, I know people like to hide there and spot into the valley, so I just put a couple of shots in there just in case they happen to be there. I'll give them a surprise. And sometimes people hang back a bit further. Sometimes you can hit them between these 2 rocks, so I put a shot between there as well. Don't think we've hit anything, but you never know. This gun reloads pretty quickly, so you can get away with doing this speculative shooting. If I had a very slow loading gun, I wouldn't do it. Okay, we've got a Hellcat moving up. So he should spot. He has spotted an IS for us. IS has quite poor armor for a heavy tank. For this tier 7 is. Okay, we've got lots of things saying for this. There's only 25 up there, and there's a Ferdinand here. I'm reloading, don't go away. Oh, he keeps going. Good, I think we must have tracked him because he came to a pretty quick halt. but he's moving back now. So I'm just going to take a shot there at where the E25 was last time I saw it, just in case. I'm going to put a shot through here in case the Ferdinand's sitting right between those two rocks. Oh, there goes the E25. Wow, he is flying. That's a fast tank.
We didn't even scratch them.
Oh, we hit it. The good shot. But we've tracked him. We didn't do any damage, unfortunately. But we'll get...
Enemy armor
we
is
got the kill
destroyed.
anyway, but we also would have got some points then anyway because we tracked it. Ferdinand's left his bum sticking out.
Enemy armor is hit.
Alright. So you can see the gun's not too bad, the .39 accuracy. We're at... what are we at? No, it's not telling me the range. I'm guessing we're at about 350, 400 metres. About 400 metres, I reckon. Don't know what's not giving me range.
Got him.
ARL's going to move into our view, I think. Yep. What range is he? He was at 387, so he would have been about 400. Good hit there. We tracked him as well. Looks like artillery finishes him off, and we would have got some points for that too. Now we're capping 44, 48, 50. We're capping really fast, so there's no way I can get there in time. Although it looks like they are hitting us. So it's a waste of time even trying to get there because this tank's just too slow. So I decided to head to our cap in case someone in their team decides to try and cap, or counter cap you might call it. Yeah, we were up to 90 something, we got hit again. So they're putting up a fight. Back to 48 now. So I've got to, yeah, I'm just going to head up here to make sure they don't cap us if we fail. It's about all I can do that would be of value because I can't get to our cap. Okay, IS-3, tier 8 Russian heavy tank. We get a nice hit into him. It's funny there, I just tried to change my angle a little bit. He misses. Now, because he's front on, he's doing the right thing. I've got to aim for the lower plate. Looks like we get it. Hopefully he doesn't go past me. I'm worried he's going to go past me, which is why I'm wobbling my tank a little bit. He doesn't, he goes for the ram, which was foolish of him. I get him for 403 into his turret ring, and he's... I've been hit by artillery for 971. Ow! I don't want to get hit by artillery again, so I've got to run. I'm running downhill because, as you can see, even downhill I'm slow, but uphill I'm terribly slow. So, and there's a KV-1S behind us. I'm trying to turn to face him, but he gets me before I can turn. If I had have been front on to him, I probably could have bounced a shot, and I would have been able to take him out. The only reason I went back to him is because I was running from artillery. Now the worst part about it all is after the game I found out that it was my artillery that hit me. Oh well, it happens. We win. There's the bugger that shot me. Okay, so we did quite a bit of damage. Hit a fair few tanks. And we won, of course, which is good. On to the next map. Next statistics screen. Came fourth overall for experience and came first for damage. Finished on top for damage. Just over the T69. And so we fired 17 shots. 11 of them were direct hits. 10 penetrated, which is very good. 3,672 damage. Hits received 2. Penetrations 1. Non-penetration 1. How can it say hits received 2, penetration 1 when we got hit once by artillery and then once by the KV-1 at the end? So we got penetrated twice. Mustn't count it as a penetration when your teammate shoots you. That's interesting. Enemy spotted 1, damaged 5, destroyed 2. Defense points 8, a whopping 8 defense points, and we made a bit of money on this game. And compensation for hit. This is how I found out it was our artillery that hit me. My compensation for damage caused by allies 7,282. Yeah, what a bummer that was, because I would have killed that other one. I reckon I would have killed that KV-1S. because he wouldn't. I would have had a loaded shell when he was coming at me, and I had good armor. He didn't, because his 175 pen wouldn't have been able to get through my frontal plate. Oh well, such is life. Thank you for watching my review of the T28 Prototype. I do hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up or a like. And if you'd like to see more reviews, please subscribe to ReginaldESQ. Until we meet again, have fun.